All right. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Sorry I'm a little late. You know how your kids want something from you as soon as it's about time to go live. So I haven't gotten to see what everybody's chatting about. I'm live on Thursday. It's not my normal Monday, so I can't ask about the booking frenzy. I just have a lot of appointments and things going on that I couldn't do it this past Monday, and I'm actually not going to be able to do it the next 2 Mondays if anybody wants it. Anyway, Evelyn's kids are sick, so she gave me Thursday. I hope they're feeling better. I saw your pictures of them at the doctor yesterday. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the compliment. Okay, so I was busy today. I did 10 classes, paid for 11. I had one no-show. I've been getting up early to work at Gogokid. I'm actually tired. It's actually been killing me a little bit. I always open my Gogokid slots 1 hour earlier than VIPKID, and because they're not peak times, they don't always get booked, or they only get booked once in a while. They've been getting booked every day, and waking up an hour earlier every day has been hard on me. So I may have to figure something else out. So that's why I worked even more classes today. Thank you. Thanks, Kim. Okay, so anyways, let me say off the bat, I am not going to talk about Ed Nace's book today for several reasons. First of all, I don't get paid for YouTube, so if I want to change my mind, I can. But second of all, I posted the link to his page. I never saw him respond, so I don't think he's coming. Number one. Number two, I didn't really have time to prepare for it. It's a good book, and I want to do it justice. I want to be prepared when I do talk about it. So if anybody came specifically about that book, sorry, I'm not talking about it today, but I will talk about other things online teaching related. So first of all, how was everybody's classes today? For anybody who works at Gogokid, Danny, I don't know who else here. I know Evelyn, but you don't work a lot of classes. I think, who did I see in the chat box? Amber. Anybody who works at Gogokid. I have had a problem every single time I am put in the new classroom. I have problems. I can't hear in my headset. And you can't get into the classroom, of course, until I don't know how long before, but I can't get in the night before to test everything. And I end up having to talk to and hear the kid through the microphone on my laptop, so which you can't hear them as well, and they probably can't hear you as well. So if anyone can give me tech support or advice on Gogokid and their brand new classroom, because I've not been able to figure it out. I was even a few days ago when I was in the new classroom, I was late. Luckily, I didn't have a class after, and even got a call from them. Ended up getting on, teaching a full class since I didn't have one after. And so far, they haven't docked me any credit score. Hopefully they don't. But even if they do, it's better than I almost could have gotten a teacher no-show. So glad I didn't. Okay, not headset issues, but you couldn't see the student and the student couldn't enter. Yes, but when I'm in the old classroom, I have no problems. So anyways, I wanted to also talk. Oh, here's another tech problem I had today. This has kind of been the past few days. I have this long time regular. So he's been actually my longest regular ever. He's been coming to my class since October. Never had any tech problems ever. So recently, I guess he must have gotten a new headset. The microphone doesn't work, or they don't have it hooked up right, VIPKID, to use it. So I only hear him through the mic on his computer, and I can't hear him. Like, there's sound, but I can't hear him very well. So I've tried saying something in the feedback. I've written to the LP. So then when he came to class today, it was one of those like Apple mics where there's a mic here. He was talking like this. So clearly, like, the message got to him, but the problem wasn't fixed. I still couldn't hear him. So I called the firemen 4 times. It was like 3 or 4 times. And every time that they came in, they would just they must have tested, saw that the audio worked, and then clicked everything's fine. Like they didn't ask me what the problem was because the problem wasn't that there wasn't sound, it was his headsets. I was hoping they'd call the parents, but after like the third or fourth time, I lost track. I just gave up on it. I was like, I'll do the best I can with how I can hear him. I thinking I'm going to go to a ticket. I'm going to write a ticket this time. I've tried the feedback. I've tried the LP. I'm going to try writing a ticket because, yeah, the fireman would just write solved, like without asking me, is everything okay? Can you hear? Is everything good? So, and okay, good. Thank you. Again, if you are talking to me instead of amongst each other, write big. So Kim says, I have a kid like that with a new headset at VIPKID. It's crazy. Yes. And I said this in the feedback. I can't correct your pronunciation. Because I can't hear you. Like I barely hear him. I hear him enough to get by through the class, but I can't correct pronunciation. I can't hear all his answers. Sometimes I had to ask him to type in the chat box. So anyways, has anyone had a problem with that kind of a thing too? Evelyn, I had to manually connect my external webcam. Okay. I tried fooling with the settings for the headset when they did the equipment test. And yeah, but it's usually, I've tried like getting up earlier and getting in the classroom earlier, but it's still not enough time. So anyways, yes. And how were your classes today? Mine were pretty good, mostly regulars, a few new people, no issues. I also wanted to show you guys. So, Danny has told us about her dice game, and I already texted this to her. I found this at the Target dollar stop place. It basically is the dice game, except, I've been meaning to get around to changing mine and just haven't gotten around to doing it. So I bought this for only $1, and they give you questions for you. So somebody else thought of the dice game too, Danny. They're questions. So I've been playing this with my students, a new version, and it's different questions. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite snack? Your favorite book, animal, school subject, and color. So it's been fun. The only downside about these questions is you can only play this game once with a student. Like once you've asked them their favorite animal, are you going to ask them again? Whereas, this dice game, if I like play guess the animal, you can do that again because you can guess another animal. Teacher asks you a question, I can ask another question. So that's the only downside I found about this is you can only play it once per student. So, and here's a couple things. A lot of them don't know the word movie. They use the word cinema instead. And then what's your favorite snack? A lot of them don't know that word. So even when I try to explain a snack's a small something you eat between lunch and dinner, they still will say like noodles or hamburger. Like that's not a snack. But how do you explain that to them? So I accept the answer. Favorite zoo animal, favorite farm animal. Oh, good, Kim. Maybe do a variation on the game. Maybe I'd have to change some of them. Film. Okay. Film. The dice game. Yes, Danny, link your dice game link there. So she's the one who invented the dice game, and it's definitely one of my favorite games for the students. So anyways, has anybody taught, first of all, at Gogokid, have you taught the new phonics and the new free talk classes? And then VIPKID, have you taught the new phonics, the new leveled reading? What do you guys think of those? And easy for upper levels and trials. Yes, also a good way to get to know them more. I played this today with free talk. With free talk, there's not a lot of slides. There's a lot of room for extension. And it was the hobbies one. So a lot of this just went along with what we were already talking about. And this girl did know snacks and stuff. I'm on my phone, but y'all haven't seen it already. Okay, well, you can also, if you're new here and haven't seen it, you could probably Google it or do a search on YouTube. Danny said, phonics at Gogokid is hard and long for me. Yes, I noticed that too. I don't teach as much at Gogokid, so and then that one day was the day I had tech problems, so I had wondered if it was me since I hadn't taught a lot of them to compare it to. But then I saw the weekly report this last week, and I do a video update if anyone works for Gogokid and doesn't feel like reading the weekly report. And they shortened the phase 1 and phase 2 phonics, so they have been listening to the teachers. Evelyn, I taught phonics today. I've taught the lower leveled reading. I'm not a fan, but it's okay. Yeah, I the upper level readings, I find I get through them fast and they're fun. But I taught one lower level where the kid was just stumbling through words. So this is the same. I don't have a lot to compare it to. And I didn't know if we spent all this time decoding words as opposed to getting really into the meat of what the story was about. But again, I only had that one lower level one, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. Uh, Danny says they saved the story for the end, and I didn't know it was so long. Are you talking about the VIPKID or the Gogokid ones? All right, Kim says I had an upper level grammar at VIPKID last night. The kid was awesome. 2 back to back with her. Yeah. Does anyone teach proper pronunciation? So a lot of I've done some of them, and a lot of them I have felt like there's not enough slides. It's too easy. What's the point of this? But actually, last week I had a girl that came to my class with an atrocious accent. And I was like, oh, this is the reason we have these classes. This is who it's supposed to be for. The other kids, I felt like didn't really need it. And I worked with her a lot on really making the sounds and sounding right. And, I had no problem filling up 25 minutes with it. So now I'm thinking after doing a class with her, like there is a reason for these proper pronunciation classes. There are some kids that need it, but some kids who take it don't really need it. That's the conclusion I've come to. Kim says, I have proper pronunciation. I don't love them. Glad you found someone who needed it. Yes, because before this girl like you, Kim, I was like, what? Why do we need this? What? Or you're just trying to fill time, play games. Been suggesting phonics for them in feedback. Yeah. So anyways, I don't have a lot to talk about today. I have an appointment later. And like I said, I'm not prepared to talk about the Ed Nace book. His book is good. It deserves justice. So I will wait till I'm prepared to talk about that. So I just want to see how you guys are doing. What other classes? How have the bookings been? I know it's summer. Bookings can be down. Do the extra class certifications, do those help? Yeah. How's it going? I did some of my feedback already. I'm going to try to do more of it before I leave. Oh, okay. So yesterday, same thing. When I was listening to Cindy's live, I was in the middle of getting ready, so I couldn't type a lot. I know Cindy said that she is in the middle of something and can't type. So if you can't type, you can respond later the next time in your live. But you were talking about doing feedback from your phone or your iPad, but then you also said you had Feedback Panda. So I guess my question is, okay, so for me, I don't just use Feedback Panda for the templates. I like the way that it keeps track of your students. So if you're doing it on your phone or your iPad and you're not using Feedback Panda, do you then go back later and fill in what you missed? Because what I wouldn't like about that is then Feedback Panda wouldn't keep track of the fact that I taught them that day or how many times I taught them or what reward I did with them. So that's my only question. Do you go back later and fill out Feedback Panda? I've heard a lot of people say, well, I don't like it. I don't need the templates. But for me, like I would still get it without the templates. It's the way that it keeps track of your students that I like. Okay. How are things with me? Pretty good, Danny. Busy, tired. Heather, my bookings have actually been pretty good, but I am definitely ready for another level. Yeah. Well, Heather, you said you were doing overnights, right? I mean, do what you got to do to get summer bookings, but I'm sure that's hard on you. Our numbers. And Amber, I'm trying not to open as far in advance because the supplementing classes will block out my core students. Yes, I think you're talking about Gogokid. They are booking way in advance, way in advance. Actually, I had a dry spell with Gogokid for a while since they're my secondary company and I don't open as many slots. So then, but I do make sure to keep opening them. And I had the first one I had after my dry spell was like booked over 2 weeks in advance. I was very surprised. Yeah, so they are. I don't have that problem because I don't have regulars at Gogokid since I don't work there that much. I work here and there. VIPKid's my main company. Um, okay, so maybe the solution for that is don't open that far in advance for Gogokid. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you work for two companies, be so careful about double bookings. You guys know this. Danny, I know you've had a problem with this. I've had some close calls. So you guys know a few months ago I had to cancel 3 at Gogokid because I was double booked and I am like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just getting bookings at Gogokid again. I want to start off on a good foot, show up on time, do great things. I was nervous when I almost had a teacher IT. So I have had some close calls. So I open 2 slots a day with Gogokid, an hour earlier than VIPKid. So what I do is if the first slot books and not the second, I will open short notice with VIPKid. I don't do short notice with Gogokid because they don't pay any extra. For some reason, I decided to do it on my phone. You know how the phone's little, you can't really see. So I accidentally opened the second. I opened the slot for the next week instead of the next day, and it ended up booking. Thank God I went back and checked later, side by side comparison. That just always double check, and realized my mistake and was able to go close that slot at Gogokid. But it was open for a few hours, and then today accepted a priority booking request. A few hours later, realized I had that slot open for Gogokid. Again, luckily closed it before it booked. So having some close calls, I do not want to. I would probably close with Gogokid. Well, I would because I have all my regulars at VIPKid, but I really don't want another one. I don't want to be on a bad foot. So 2 companies, whether it's VIPKid, Gogokid, or any other companies, just check, double check, go back and recheck, just make sure. Danny, gig short notice, I get trials. I'd rather do core at VIPKid in case of a no-show. Exactly. If I got it, actually that few months ago when I had those double bookings and I canceled 3, it was trials. It was trials at Gogokid, so that was one of the reasons I chose to cancel with Gogokid. Like a trial or a core course, yeah, of course I'm going to cancel the trial. I have heard people do risky things like, well, keep them both booked. Maybe the trial won't show up, but they might show up. I canceled way in advance. I only lost 1 credit point for each one. And then that was also before they were deducting money. So, yeah. So I opened for VIPKid and not Gogokid. Kim, I am very cautious with my bookings for each company. I always triple check for this reason. Yes. Marianne, has anyone had a student request the same day 5 weeks in a row? I've had several, but I didn't prove it. No. Why is everyone shouting? I know it looks that way. No. When I was new, I loved the priority booking requests and the fact that they can request you and things like that. But I don't know. I'm almost getting to where I don't like it. Just because I don't know. The nice thing about Gogokid is if you don't open your slots, nobody's going to bother you. If you're going on vacation, you're not going to get 10 requests for that spot. If you decide I want to sleep in that day, you're not going to get someone like requesting it and like, oh, okay, I'll open earlier for them. I mean, the only advantage if you work for two companies like me, I was able to open that slot for someone who requested me and close the slot at another. I might not have gotten booked at Gogokid, but I don't know. I'm beginning to hate priority booking requests. Whereas when I first started, I liked them. But I like the fact that at Gogokid, your slots are closed. No one's going to bother you and they can't say anything. So the only thing I wish is that like we could do cards at Gogokid, because I really would like to like send a card to the little boy and his family who gave me the 5 stars that I did last week. So all right, what are you guys talking about? Amber, I double booked on accident. I try to teach at the same times with both. Who did you end up canceling with, Amber, and why? If we're addressing, yeah, put it in caps. I'm seeing some of them that are not in caps, but the caps ones I get better. Priority booking's annoying. Yes, Marianne, I thought I would like it too, and like I don't. I heard they were offering incentives to parents for feedback. Well, that makes sense. And Marianne, I heard you say like you're getting more feedback because you're thanking or people. I have one student. I know their family like purposely wants my thank you. So I have Feedback Panda, and you can like everything's there. You can see if they've given you 5 apples if you sync it together. And like I know like I'll literally just finish the class, and like for the day before, they'll send me 5 apples. It's like they know that I'm about to rate the feedback and they want to make sure that I can say thank you. Like they literally are like that. So I know the thank you helps, at least with them. Like it's almost like they want to hear the thank you. So they make sure to get in that feedback before I do mine. Kim, I like that about iTutor. If I open it, it gets booked, but no one begs me to open anything except the company, but I ignore those. Okay, see, the company does. So Kim, let me ask you this. Since the company books for you and the parents don't book for you, first of all, do you have to do feedback for iTutor? Second of all, how motivated are you to make the feedback good if the parents aren't booking you anyway? Heather, I wish they would include cards with the PC app. Yeah, that would be nice. I got 12 within the past 12 hours. 12 what? 12 feedback, 12 priority booking requests. Okay, so yeah. I wish. I don't like them. That's how many I had today. I don't know the time. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys are talking about priority bookings or. But anyways, I don't have feedbacks. Okay, well that's nice. More than I've gotten a lot from my regulars lately. Not a lot from new people. Oh, I have a new regular. I think the last time I went live, I was telling you guys I had this girl come to my class who had that label like 12 classes or less, and I was really worried about if her headsets are going to work. You know how new people are. She only had 2 classes with VIPKID, now was her 3rd. Well, after the first class with me and her 3rd class ever, she became a regular. She literally is coming to my class like 3 times a week now. 2 or 3 times a week, and she still has that under 12 class label on. So that's awesome. New regulars. Danny has 299 parent following. I had 215 when I went all in with 24 hours. Wow, that's great. So that's probably why you're let me ask you, are your 24-hour bookings still going great in the summertime with bookings down? Kim, parents like and favorite you at iTutor. My feedback is simple. Compliments, something to work on. Thanks. Feedback is immediately after classes within 24 hours. Yeah, my followers stayed the same for a while. Like I was at a plateau for a while. Like even if I would gain one, I'd lose one. And then I'd gain one and lose one. But finally, after a plateau, they've started going up. I guess with summertime and the new classes, kids' schedules being different. I've had a bunch of new students, and that's helped it to like start going up. So I'm happy because I thought I was just done. I was going to have that same number forever. um, Kim, parents send feedback, and you can lose your job at iTutor if ratings are too low. I know. You can tell she had a kid that was rating her bad after every class that almost lost her job for it. Heather, I wish we had the option to check followers on the app too. Like we follow them. Oh, I see what you mean. To check how many followers you had on the PC app. So you must not have an iPhone or iPad, Heather. Had verb of frequency always. Yeah, I had that class. I guess bad parent feedback can make you lose your job at all companies. Yeah, I mean, if you had enough of them that weren't invalidated at VIPKid, the kid is gone, thankfully. Good, Kim. So Danny, tell us, you had a feedback. Somebody sent you bad feedback at Gogokid for tech issues, which weren't your fault before they were able to make it a student no-show. So let me ask you, you said your credit score had gone down. Did they credit you back because it was at the end of the month? Did you end up getting the money back? Because literally, I think if I remember correctly, it was at the end of the month and you would have lost a whole like months of pay for your credit score going down. So I hope that no credit deduction. Good. I hope that they had made good on that. 1-star student no show. Did they change that one? Okay, yeah. So yeah, knock on wood. I don't want to say it out loud. I haven't had bad feedbacks lately, but let me not say that. As soon as you say that stuff, you'll get one. All right. Well, guys, I don't have a lot to talk about today. Again, this Monday and the Monday after, I will not be able to go live. So if somebody wants that spot, maybe you, Kim, you don't have a spot, or Evelyn, if you want to make up for not being able to go today, let me know if anyone wants to go live either Monday or the next Monday. My schedule should be back to normal. I should be back on a normal every Monday type schedule after after school gets back in session, which is early for my kids this year. Wrench, please. Okay. Here, I'm going to give Marianne a wrench. And someone said something about a fight club. Time for a fight club. Yeah. Kim and Evelyn, fight it out. I like that meme you did with when you and Sydney were trying to decide. All right. So, anyways, guys, that's all I was going to talk about today. Just general online teaching stuff. And I will get prepared and I will talk about the Ed Nace book next time I'm able to go live on a Monday again. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you at everybody else's live. See ya. Have a good day. Bye.